What is up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video back and playing a coaster in the one, the only Time City. And today we are going to be working more on the Apocalypse section, and specifically we're going to be working on more filling in the gaps and details to trying to get this area a little bit more complete. So today we're going to start on a little bit of the monorail station queue line for the Apocalypse section, and this railing right here, it took me a while to get through because actually this is a UGC piece. So this is actually from the Steam Workshop from the thmemakers toolkit. So this is some pieces, we're going to be using some pieces that we've never seen before, and I'm very excited to see how it all turns out because we got like this slanted railing now, and this is something that is actually really nice. I hope we get to see more later on, but I guess I didn't download the flat piece for this railing, I guess. I'm not sure exactly. So we're just going to have to keep it there for right now, and I'm going to have to look later. But we get the queue line here and this, and I also use a concrete texture for this queue line that was also from the thmemakers toolkit. So some really cool stuff. There's over 200 items at the moment now. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in a couple of years, all the different items that are going to be coming in. There's constantly new items always coming into the Steam Workshop. I'm also always looking. Every time there's something new, I look through the new stuff to see if there's anything I'm interested in having in the game. Now, I do have to go through and maybe excuse me, get rid of some of the stuff that either isn't as good as I thought it would be, or stuff I just don't think I'm going to use, because I don't want to crowd it up too much with stuff that, you know, useless stuff that I'm not going to use. But anyways, I'm very excited, and this part was actually a little difficult because I actually had a little bit of slant, a little bit of terrain slanted on this back part of the queue line, so I had to slant the concrete a little bit, which kind of sucked, but I got it done. I don't know if I'm going to keep this concrete here or not. It's an okay texture. It just doesn't blend very well with itself throughout. I just kind of wanted to get this queue line kind of started and going, and we also work a little bit on the station itself, on the building, and kind of get the building in a more completed state. I feel like I didn't get as much done as I wanted to in this episode, so I do apologize for that. But in the end, I did get a little bit more done than I was expecting to after, you know, the slow start in this. And then I kept messing with this darn diagonal kind of glitch, which gets on my nerves completely. I don't know what causes it, but Planet Coaster needs to get it fixed. It's something that's been a glitch in the game for so long. When you have these straight pieces, like you know, it's orientation, like when you just have one selected, and then if you select two of the same thing, it will randomly make the advanced move tool, or the advanced move option, just diagonal or slanted or something that's not straight, and it bugs the heck out of me so much, and I can't understand why it does that, but it does. It's just a glitch in the game, I believe, and it didn't work out. It never works out the way I want to, and I have to like do some crazy like maneuvering just to try and get it to where I want it to go. So that's kind of annoying. But we also have the pathway that goes over the monorail, and I think I'm gonna keep this spot kind of outside and make it a little covered queue line outside. I think that'd be kind of a neat little feature, as the monorail kind of goes underneath you through a little tunnel into the station. And I'm very excited to see all this put together, because after in the stream we went through in first person in the Tegid cam, and I'm getting very excited for this park. Like, when you experience this park after it is complete, you guys have to go into the Tegid cam and just walk around like a guest. It's so incredibly awesome. Like, it's just incredible to see. So I don't know how to describe it. It's just amazing. It makes the park feel more real, in my opinion, when you look at it from a first person perspective. Also, if you do have it, I do highly recommend getting reshade for the game, so you can actually, you know, add on some, or you could change the colors in the game a little bit more. I know there's an in-game thing for that, but reshade, there's just so many more options that you can mess with, and it's a lot better, in my opinion, to make stuff look a little bit different, a little bit better, and I love the heck out of it. So anyways, this building, I wanted this building to be like a nice little tower building. It's gonna have a lot to it, and I want some, like, you know, a lot of industrial kind of feel to this area of the park, which is going to be cool. I just can't wait. Like this section is going to be above beyond when it's all said and done. We're going to be working on it. I don't know when we're going to get to the Greek/Roman section. I said it would be probably in a couple episodes, but now thinking about it, it might take a little bit more than that, because I want to get this into a more finished state as well. And it's starting to get there. We just have a little bit of ways still to go to get to that point. So just want everyone to kind of be aware of that we still have stuff to do and so little time, to be honest, because I need to get this park done, or try to get this park done by March, no later than May. That's kind of like the time period where I wanted to give myself for this park. And at that point, I had been working on this park for over a year. Once I get to that point, like literally over a year. I started this park back in mid-January, I think, in 2018. So we've been working on this park for nearly a year, about 11 months now, which is just ridiculous. Almost 11 months now. So that's just incredible to think about. And we're almost to 40 episodes. And we're still not even halfway done with the park. That's just the crazy part. So we're going to be kicking it into high gear when I get laid off for the off season. You're going to be seeing these episodes, maybe even multiple episodes per day. And it's going to be insane. You're going to probably be seeing Time City episodes every single day, mixed in with some other episodes of different stuff as well. So when I do live streams of Time City, I'll probably be recording like 2 to 3 episodes at a time if I can. I'm going to try and hopefully get enough space to do something like that. If I possibly can, that would be probably the best thing I can probably do. But anyways, that's where that is, and because I do want to get this park finished on time. At the same time, I'm not going to rush it. I just need to put more time into it. So we also go over here. As you can see, we're working on the tower ride a little bit. I do work a little bit on its queue line, which is going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot easier than I thought it would be. I kind of got an idea of all the different scenes I'm going to have in the queue line and everything like that, how it's all going to be set up. So I kind of got myself a little idea. I got it all a little bit planned now, which is a good thing, and I cannot wait. So I did kind of mess around with seeing if I could pinpoint why the glitch kind of goes on the arrow here, on the arrows, and I messed around with it just a little bit too long, so I did kind of waste quite a bit of time in this episode, so I did make it a little bit longer in the end. So I did actually wait a little bit, or actually did work a little bit later on it than I expected to. Like, I made it a longer episode than I was expecting, but that's okay. Because we do get a new building kind of placed in on the street as well, which is also definitely a good thing. We get some queue line stuff done within the tower ride. So we're getting close, guys. We're getting close to the tower ride, really starting to get to more of a completed state. So once we get all that interior done, which we're working on, we're going to get that interior done hopefully pretty soon. And then we can start working on the exterior of the tower, which I'm very excited for, by the way, because I have a lot of details planned for the exterior of the tower. It's going to be awesome. Like, you look at it now, it's really bare and ugly. Just wait until we get to the exterior work on the tower ride. And we're really trying to figure out a name for the tower ride at the moment, which we're thinking about. I might reveal that by the next episode. I'm not sure yet. We're still thinking about. We got one that we're really liking right now, so we'll see where that goes. So I wanted to have this little outdoor queue as well for the tower ride, for kind of like an overflow queue if it gets really long and everything like that. You have this little bit of an outdoor queue, which will be really nice to have for those super busy days. And I'm expecting a lot of these rides to really fill up the queue lines. I mean, Westwood really fills up the queue lines. Arrow Valley fills up the queue lines pretty well. So I'm expecting this park to fill up those queue lines very well. So just keep that in mind, and that's why my queue lines are so large, and yeah, that's why. So we get another building kind of going into here, and these buildings, I want to keep them pretty simple, so they don't need a whole lot of detail. I'm going to detail them pretty decently, but they don't need a whole lot of detail. They're just like street buildings, you know. There's not much to these, and in the first place, you know, they're not meant to have a ton amounts of detail in the first place. They're just kind of facades, you know? They're just going to be simple, not too much to them, and everything like that. So we'll get through it together, and hopefully we get all these buildings down. Like, I got the street view from this, and it's actually coming together quite nicely. From Tegid Cam, everything looks legit, looks great, and I'm really liking how everything's turning out. So to keep the guests on this street, I have to put in stalls, rides, attractions, everything you can think of. So I want to keep these streets fairly like populated. So I want to try and have lots of stalls around and different things like that. You know, toilets, everything you can think of. And I'm going to try and put in a couple of rides in the area on the outside of the buildings as well. I think that would be a really good idea because I want to put a couple more rides in the area still. And you know, the one ride that I had, I'm thinking actually about enclosing that ride into one of the buildings and everything, and making it like almost like a dark flat ride. I think that'd be kind of cool with a lot of lighting effects and everything, and we'll see how that turns out. Maybe I can make something kind of cool. So I thought this building was kind of fitting for like a Street Fox Coffee, so I decided to put in a Street Fox Coffee here. Pretty cool. We're going to be doing a lot of street elements in the next couple episodes, so I'm very excited about that. I love doing street elements and just like decorating roads like this, and I absolutely love parks that have like a street kind of theme to them. So when you're like around, you know, you're walking down the street where everything's out. So that's kind of cool. I'm very excited. And then, of course, got to get that priority pass here for the queue line for the tower ride. And it worked out just as I was hoping, which is nice because I had it all planned out where I wanted the priority pass to go, so it doesn't get too ridiculous. So that's nice. But we got that, and then there's just so much. There's so much to go over that there's just so much to do in these queue lines and the exit pathways. I try to enclose them as best as I can with all the walls and everything, so it doesn't get, and there's just so many walls to put in here. It's just kind of ridiculous. So this is kind of where the first scene kind of comes into play for this section. You know, I kind of experiment. I get some electrical boxes that I found on the toolkit as well. So you're going to see me start using a couple toolkit items. One of my curious things that I do have, or am thinking about, so if I upload this to the Steam Workshop with toolkit items, I'm very curious if you have to have those items installed, if you have to be subscribed to them or not. That's kind of the thing I'm kind of wondering, and I guess we'll see later on. I'm not entirely sure, but I might even test it out. We'll just make a random park with with some of the items, unsubscribe from the items, and then like go back into the park and see if those items are still going to be there or not. That's kind of something I'm curious about, like if I have to leave a list of all the items that I've used for the park in order for people to, you know, properly get to see the whole park. So this little first scene is actually going to be the shipment area for the laboratory, and it's going to have a lot of barrels, a lot of like contaminants of that sort of nature, a lot of flammable items, and you're going to see a lot of rubble here and there still because everything, you know, you're going to see all those signs and everything because obviously there's a lot of flammable substances, explosives, and stuff like that when it comes to creating a cure for this apocalypse. So I want to put a lot of detail into stuff like that. We have a little door that opens for the shipments that come in, and it's behind these locked doors so no one can really get to them. It's really important items in here. So very important little scene there that kind of goes in with the story a little bit. And then down in this hallway, which you'll see in just a moment, we're going to be placing a TV screen where I'm going to have a custom video playing, hopefully, at least that's the idea, playing in the queue line for the guests waiting in line. You're going to see a lot of custom videos and stuff in this park. That's something I'm very excited for, and I think will be really cool to add a little bit of interesting stuff to this. So this hallway is going to have this little TV. So you have those TVs for when you're waiting in line, and you have some stuff to entertain guests while they're waiting in line. So it's part of the ride. You know, the queue line's going to be part of the ride, and that's kind of part of the idea of it. So every episode we're going to try and do a little bit more of the queue line to get it more into a finished state. I'll probably work on more of it in the next episode as well. So And then we go in and just do a couple things here and there, you know, working on some curb pieces that just some left to right stuff, you know, that has to get done, that hasn't been done yet, and that's kind of an important thing right now, is that we get all those completed. I might even put a couple of random cars on the street, you know, just for fun, and see how all that kind of turns out. I think that'd be kind of a cool idea. We get some lampposts here and there, and it just turned out really good, and I'm just so excited to see how the final result's going to be. Like, look at the street view. It looks really cool. I'm very, very pumped on all that. So, it's going to look brilliant, and I just know that this park's going to be successful when it is all said and done. So, that being said, it was kind of a slow episode, and I did want to put some smoke on I'm going to put some smoke on a lot of the buildings, so you can see that maybe it's like on fire or something like that, so you can look out for those stuff, but it's kind of neat in regards to that. And we got more curbs over here on the curve over here that I have been ignoring for so long. I only did like one side, so I was just like, I need to get this done and get it completed. So we did that. We had to, do it on the yellow lines as well for the road, which is something we have not done yet. We have to do some curved lines on those to get those all done. So kind of to conclude this episode, I was like, you know what, I can work a little bit on the exterior of this wall since there's not much to it, and so we do that. So this is kind of a sneak peek of kind of the design that we're gonna kind of go for the tower itself. And the tower is gonna have a lot of aspects to it, so we're gonna go back to the section and really kind of dirty things up more, but I want to get the basic idea of the design tower. So this kind of side of the wall is gonna go kind of an idea, a little bit of the design I'm gonna go with. It's gonna be different throughout the exterior anyways, but this is kind of the first kind of start of what we're going with here for the tower ride. So this tower ride is the first one I've actually really done before, too. I've never actually done a tower ride before until this one, and I'm actually very proud of how it turned out. I think there's better ones out there, for sure, but for what it is, for being my first, kind of ride that I've ever done like this, I think I'm very proud of it, and I can always add on and, make some adjustments later if my skill set gets a little bit better. So anyways, this tower is going to be really cool. It's going to have the big words of the name of the tower on top of it, kind of like, Tower of Terror in a way. So it's going to be something like that. So, Tower of Terror has Hollywood Tower Hotel or whatever on the side. Some of the lettering is going to be looking like it's falling off. You're going to see holes in the building, stuff like that. We're going to get into those very, very soon, hopefully, after we get the interior of the rides, of it done. So as you can see, I wanted to do something very out of this world, very different, because we are in the future and this is going to be a high-tech kind of building, but I want to make it look like it's on the cusp of collapsing as well, so you'll see that later down the line once we do that. But anyways, that's about it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and make sure you have a great day and even cooler tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next video. Goodbye.